Well, we can talk.
It was cold outside.
We're talking about how cold and dark it's been in Southern California. But tomorrow, the Rose Bowl on January 1st, 2024, it's going to be sunny. It's going to be in the 60s. We're looking forward to Alabama and Michigan. Night before we head off to a new year and a new playoff with Alabama and Michigan and Texas and Washington. Lance Taylor, this is Emily Grace. Ryan, you know, I'm Jim. Glad to have you here on this New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's to everybody. We're going to go out and enjoy LA when we're done here, but we wanted to spend a few minutes with you guys talking about the game tomorrow. These guys just got back from the team hotel. Give me the atmosphere.
We did.
I think it was, we ran into the Melrose.
We did.
You've done an interview,
Yeah,
right?
we did a little
Mr. and
something.
Mrs. Milrose, so that'll be going out shortly,
Yeah,
right?
pretty soon.
Everybody seemed to be having a good time getting ready for a balloon drop. We went to the lobby in that hotel, happens to be on the 70th floor.
Not the first floor, like you'd imagine.
Weird spot for a
70th.
lobby. What's on floors 1 through 69?
I really don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but we were looking out, and there was like so many helipads down
Right.
below us, and then to think they've got a rooftop bar on top.
Well, the LAPD helicopter swooped in and waved at all of us.
Was hovering.
Yeah, they were. He was like,
They're doing that,
370,
really?
Yeah.
and they waved, and
It was
everybody.
cool.
So it was a really cool party atmosphere. But talking to Alabama fans, obviously they're really, really confident.
Very confident.
But I saw the hotel we're at right now, the media hotel. I was talking to some Michigan fans sitting at the bar, and they're like super confident too. And I asked them, I said, wonder if Harbaugh loses this game. And they're like, he could lose 100 of these. We're just happy where we are. You know, you guys in the South. This is what
You guys in the South. You
Yeah,
guys.
y'all.
it's
You
the
guys.
academics aren't important to you. And I said, look,
I love that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
I said, look, you can angle this. Like, I know Michigan's a great institution, and you can angle this up until a couple of years ago. Now, NIL, where backup quarterbacks are getting $250,000 to transfer out, like, it's a business. Nobody really cares about APR and graduation rates anymore.
I hadn't heard APR in forever.
Yeah.
I guess they still do that.
I think that's why Syracuse got in a bowl game, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I think it does come into play. Like once they're not enough 6 and 6s.
Yeah.
They'll do the teams like Jack State that were not bowl eligible. Then they'll go to the 5 and 7s. And I do think it's based on APR at that point.
But I mean, that is almost like the Fansville Dr. Pepper commercial where she's like, we're out recruit you. Well, our academic standards
Yeah,
are higher.
it's just not.
Like, and I told him, I said, I'm a Bama grad, and as a college football fan, I could give a shit if anybody graduates. It's like that's
Yeah.
just not
That's
part of
not
the
a
equation.
factor.
And by the way, there are a few buildings built by Auburn engineers and a lot of
Right.
other good Southeastern Conference schools. I mean, my goodness, you watch the Florida commercials, they write the great American novel. And
That's what they say, cure cancer.
Trying to
Yeah.
cure cancer.
No, I
University
really-
of Georgia.
I really think they're stupid, or they think we are stupid.
Yeah.
Really.
But see, that's because we have this perception about Big Ten speed. You know, we've got SEC speed and they're slow. They've got this perception they're smarter than we are. It's
Well-
what's portrayed on television and in the movies, when in
But on the
reality,
football field,
it's not true.
What does that matter to?
It doesn't. Like I've challenged you guys. We could go conference by conference. You tell me who the best academic institutions are. You could probably get the top 2 in most conferences. Once you get past that,
It doesn't.
but let's go conference to conference. You tell me who played for the conference championship and all of them.
Yeah.
That is on the field. I understand it. I'm a college football fan. That's what I care about. If a kid doesn't want to get his degree, I didn't get my degree. So why am I going to point the finger at somebody for not getting their degree?
All the great sponsors on the bottom of our screen here will be with you for a few minutes tonight. Light us up in the chat room. Hopefully you've set your alert so you know we're doing the show. And Brown will get to some of these comments in a moment. EG is going to settle in and get comfortable
I am.
here.
A little hot.
Oh,
It's like a presidential.
I am.
It's like a presidential debate. They probably discussed this for a week, whether or not it would be smart if she took the coat off on
Yeah.
air or not.
That's right.
we know the opinion.
You had the opportunity to talk to the Milrose, though.
I did.
Just an overview of what they can find.
What are you going to do with that mic now? I don't know if you planned this
It,
out.
it was kind of cool. We rode up the elevator with them.
We
Right.
did. Well, so
Up to the 70th floor lobby?
Yeah.
I keep trying to get Emily Grace to tell us this story. You keep jumping in. Come on, Emily.
Okay.
Tell us about this
Emily.
interview.
Dickhead, I was setting the story up.
okay, so we are in the lobby, not the real lobby, the fake lobby, and we're waiting to go up. And I think I definitely was a little too obvious because I was like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Because I wanted to make sure we all
Uh-huh.
were on the same page that it was the
Yep.
Milrose. And so then I think they saw me doing that, and then Lance made eye contact. And then,
Quickly told them
Yes.
the story. Hey, we're the guys that set up the Charles Barkley
Yeah.
thing.
And, oh, yeah, they remember.
Yeah, and then she had really an incredible story
I
about
did.
really her first game that she covered for us, which was Texas, Alabama.
Right.
And so she told me this because I was originally going to go over and talk to Quentin Milroe.
Yeah.
And after you told me the story, I was like, you have at it.
Yeah. So
Why are you smiling?
Well, I'm just
Such a
watching the
condescending dick.
I'm just watching the conversation.
oh, okay. I
At
really
least
like
get a
this
cocktail
little-
before you get condescending.
So anywho, they're wonderful people. His brother was there, his sister, and
Girlfriend, maybe?
I think that is his
Yeah.
girlfriend. And they were really gracious to us because they did not have to take the time to speak with me. And I told them the story, and I will share. Should I share?
Yeah, real quick.
Sure.
Sure. I
Okay.
love me interrupting again, but I ran over there and I said, look,
He
Emily
never does
Grace.
that.
Oh yes.
No,
please help me
I
out.
said she's got a great story about your son and one of her
Right.
first days on the job. We really don't want to infringe. We're over here. If you get any
Yeah,
time,
if you
we'll
have
be
a
sitting here
minute.
for a little
Right,
bit.
right.
Let me know. And I walk over 5 minutes later, he comes
No,
taps me on the
even. I
shoulder.
like
Yeah,
this
he's
so
like,
much. Hey,
can
what's
we do
up?
it now?
Oh, how
So-
nice. Yeah.
So, awesome guy. So, anyways, long story short, my story is this. So, I started work on a Tuesday, and I've told y'all this before. And my first game was Saturday, and so I just moved to Birmingham that same week. So, lots of change, and I was very nervous. And so, I was obviously spending a lot of time in prayer leading up to it. And my prayer was that I don't care really what happens. I can mess up everything, but
Right.
I was just praying that.
Nobody will notice on this platform. Go ahead.
Seriously. I was praying that other people would see the Lord in me. That was it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I would be like, case closed. If all else failed, didn't matter. I just hoped that was going to be accomplished. So, anyways, me and Dunaway go into post game, and Alabama had lost. And so that made me, I think, even more nervous because, oh my goodness, this doesn't happen. It's my first game. And so we go into the post game media room, and the anxiousness that I was feeling was next level, but Dunaway was very helpful and reassuring me. And so in that setting, everyone crowds the podiums. That's where the players come out. And I mean, it was a madhouse. Of course, you want to talk to Jalen after you just lost to Texas. And so there's a video of it, and you can see my little ponytail like sticking up, and I'm like crouched down, and Dunaway's behind me filming. And he was
Ponytail wouldn't have been a shot if I hadn't been 5'10" and a half.
That's true.
If I was 5'11",
That's
the
true, the
ponytail
Ponytail's
would
out
have
of
been
the shot. Yeah.
So, Dunaway, we go over the questions, and the first one was about if Jalen is looking over his shoulder, how do you remain composed when you have competition? Because at that point, the quarterback debate was in full swing. And so usually you get one question off. You don't follow up on a question. But I'm sitting there, and so I get the first question off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I asked it, and it was good. And so my second question was not planned, and I said, how are you keeping yourself encouraged as you continue to lead this team? And so I was expecting him to say something about Coach Saban, his family, his other coaches, teammates. He actually used it as an opportunity to talk about the Lord and his faith in Jesus, that he was going to rely on him. And it was kind of like a foundational moment for him that after that, he really kept doubling down on that. And that was the first time I think that we heard him discuss his relationship and what he wanted to use his platform for. And I thought that was really cool because I go back to what I was talking about in terms of what I was hoping for, and my question allowed him to do that. And so I shared that with his family.
Oh, were they moved by that?
Yes, they were.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
cool.
very cool.
They're nice
So
people.
They're awesome.
That video will be out on our platform as all the other stuff that you've seen today, including LT's trip to Venice Beach and everything. Continue to set your alerts. We'll get to the game itself in just a second. UCA, Urology Centers of Alabama, one of our great sponsors, 35 urologists in 16 locations around the state of Alabama. Early detection, so important, whether it's prostate health all the way to something just like kidney stones. Everything in between, they will help you sort of navigate your health for the rest of your life as you get older into your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. There's always things that can pop up, especially for us men. They'll take care of you. Urology Centers of Alabama, urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com, and also our friends at Southern Rubber and Tire.
Southern Rubber Tire, the choice for tires and service in downtown Birmingham. Bryant and our guys there can handle any of your automotive needs, all major brand tires, brakes, alignments, oil changes, and more. No job too big, no job too small. Southern Rubber Tire, 6th Avenue North near I-65, and you can check them out online, southernrubbertire.com. Let them know the next round told you about southernrubbertire.com.
So let's roll through some of the stuff that has happened today, including the news conference that happened over in the media availability room earlier today, very early this morning. It was Nick Saban and Jim Harbaugh's last chance to talk to the media before the game tomorrow, and they posed for the Rose Bowl trophy and all that. The last question of the whole news conference was about sign stealing.
Right.
Sign stealing.
Crime stealing. It was in LA.
So here's the answer from Nick Saban. He gets asked about sign stealing. Is it a concern? His quote was this: "We're not really concerned about that." But then he went on, "You've got to adapt and adjust how you communicate with your quarterback." He said, "The integrity of the game is very important to us. So if we've got to adjust throughout the game, we will adjust throughout the game." But I mean, it was with Jim Harbaugh setting as far as, as
I'm the
Lance
Rose Bowl
is from
trophy.
me. You're the Rose Bowl trophy. He's a bunch of roses. That's Jim Harbaugh. He started talking about the integrity of the game, and we've got it managed, and we got to adjust during the game. We'll adjust during the game if we think they have our signs.
Yeah, I was talking to, and you'll see some of these interviews in Venice Beach, and I was talking to some Michigan fans, and I was asking about Connor Stalions, and they're like, "Trust me, Nick Saban does the same thing." And I was like, probably not to that degree, but I really don't know. But for him to actually say that, you better be like ultra confident that you guys aren't living in a glass house throwing rocks.
Everybody that was present for it described it as extremely tense and awkward in the room. Now, I was watching on television on the SEC network. Feinbaum was on the set. He said the same thing. He's like, you could feel how awkward it was kind of through the camera. So
the body language.
Yeah.
He started off like, "Well, we're really not concerned about that." But then as Nick does, after he said that, then he says how he really feels.
Yeah.
The
I'm not
integrity of the
concerned by
game
it.
is so important that we take that very seriously. And then he ran through all the things they were doing. And that included, as you said earlier this week, the guys, they can't watch tape on their personal laptops.
Boy, that has created one heck of a controversy, because now Catapult is the company that handles that. They've had to put out a statement talking about how safe it is, all because Isaiah Bond just answered the question. I mean, it started a whole avalanche of stuff.
But just think about how simple it could be. Like, Catapult/Michigan is the login. And so if Stallions knows that, he goes Catapult/Alabama. Oh, I can look at all their
Tide 1, 2, 3.
Start guessing faster. Nick Saban.
I think it is a little more difficult than that.
Yeah.
Right?
One would think, yeah.
Yeah, but the guy's a former military guy.
Yeah, but let me ask you this.
Military.
So there are, and I've met these guys. I think Lunsford probably, hung out with some of these guys back in the day. But there are people that can hack basically anything.
Absolutely.
So why would you not get one of these guys on your staff if you really wanted to?
Forward thinking.
That was he a Marine? Is that what he was?
Yes.
Yeah, he was Marine.
So Jim Harbaugh apparently did. That's what he did. He got his job was a sign.
But I also wonder, outside of going to different locations, stadiums, and watching and scouting teams, I mean, was there some of that cyber hacking?
I bet Connor Stalions read Extreme Ownership.
Yeah, it's your book. Forrester said it would have been awkward if Harbaugh was the only guy in the room. The dude is weird. I mean, Scott's right.
The booster seat moment didn't
Yeah.
help either.
Well, the guy's a complete weirdo. I mean, he coached football, but he's a weirdo.
All right. So Nick did go on to say that he's hoping that he would be in favor of it next year, going to the NFL system. And boy, this has got to fast track that, right? We've got to get to the headset to where you just are on the headset yourself. You're calling in a play like they do in the NFL.
Yeah.
And we just do that.
I mean, that's where we're like in the age of technology. We're rolling into 2024 tomorrow, the next few hours, which is insane. Now, why would you not?
Now, of course, not much anymore. I mean, it happens. Maybe I see it maybe once or twice a game, but we still have old guys trotting out poles with chains attached to measure a first down. I mean, it almost never happens anymore.
That's kind of football, though. Like I don't mind the chains.
Yeah,
I
more
don't mind the chains.
Two old guys holding chains.
Brown doesn't want the crossbar and the goalpost anymore. He wants lasers.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but I'm just
the
saying, I've never understood how that was the end all be all. Now, again, they never use them anymore. How often do you see guys come out and measure for a first down?
Not a lot.
Maybe once a game.
I mean, they basically.
They used to do it all the time back then.
If it's close, they're giving you a first down.
No, there's no doubt about it. Yep.
Like,
They'll wave them all.
They know where it is, and
There
they're
we go.
marking it. That's a first down.
Yeah, wave them all.
Nobody even says,
I mean,
"Hey, I want to see a mark on that."
When I was a kid, anything within a yard of either side, they would stop the game, move the teams back, wave the guys out, and they'd trot out.
That was an exciting moment though on a fourth down. It
Yeah.
was though. Like they come out, and you're like, damn, is that chain gonna stretch?
Now, the other game going on, we'll get back to Alabama, Michigan in a second. Steve Sarkisian had a moment, just like Nick Saban did, with Kalen DeBoer, final news conference down at the Sugar Bowl. And Sarkisian gets asked a question about 2015 USC. did he ever, when he was being let go in 2015 USC, ever imagine that this moment could happen for him? Because it did not look like Steve Sarkisian was going to be the kind of coach that would rally from 2015 being fired at USC with a now very public drinking problem to now being a guy who has solved a lot of problems in his life, and he has Texas in the 2023 playoffs.
Yeah, I do think there were a lot of demons for Sark back in the day. I mean, this was a guy, people don't remember, he was offered the Raiders job, and because he turned it down, Al Davis hired Lane Kiffin. So Sarkisian's always been a guy for years that has been so respected just as a brilliant offensive mind. And now these demons are past, and he was able to go to the Saban rehab clinic, so to speak. He's grown up as a coach. He's doing things the right way. I mean, I completely respect it. I didn't think it was going to work out to this degree. He's still got a lot to do to ultimately get to where Texas wants and win a championship. But I give him a lot of credit, man. I mean, for somebody to be able to hit rock bottom like that and everything's exposed.
Rebound.
Yeah,
And
for
now
him.
he's an SEC.
Yeah.
Did we consider him, and I'm asking this genuinely because I don't really remember, did we consider him an offensive genius before the stint in Tuscaloosa?
Nope. I respect, I thought Lane Kiffin was a better play caller before.
I did too.
But I can't really figure out who the better play caller is.
I think it's
now.
Sark.
For our audience, though, when they were on the staff with Pete Carroll, who called the plays?
Sark.
Sark did.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I always thought Lane Kiffin was sort of the creative mind behind the.
And there was probably a collaboration. I mean, they worked well together.
But keep in mind, I mean, Sarkisian came to Tuscaloosa getting fired by the Falcons.
Yep.
I mean, he was not an offensive genius in Atlanta. He had been fired.
I think what he did, I think he's always been a really good offensive coach. I think what happened when he got to Tuscaloosa, I think we talked about this, he became a sponge and this guy knows exactly what he's doing. I am going to try to replicate everything once I get another opportunity.
Now, to be fair, he also had an incredible roster.
Yeah, well, and I think Sark, I mean, the most important thing is recruiting, right?
Yeah.
You get the guys there, you figure out how to coach them, and he learned that under Nick Saban, and Texas, to me, is an easy place to be able to recruit to.
Okay, a couple more of our sponsors.
By the way, I love Washington. Love them.
You love
them.
Yeah,
Love
you get Lance's plays tomorrow, lanceslock.com. He's telling you he loves Washington right there. Wayne's and our friends at MyBookie.
Well, let's start with MyBookie since Lance mentioned that. So tomorrow here at MyBookie.ag, you got LSU -9 as they play Wisconsin. You got Oregon -18 as they play Liberty. You got Tennessee -5.5 as Nico makes the start against Iowa. And then here are the games. He said he loves Washington. Lance is catching 4 in that one. Washington is a 4-point underdog. Texas favored 4 in the Sugar Bowl. And Michigan back up to 2. It's been 1.5, 2, 1.5, 2. It's at 2. That's where you can find those lines at mybookie.ag. And when you use code NEXTROUND, you see the QR code at the bottom of the screen down there by Lance's legs. Don't look at Lance's legs. Look at the QR code. You can scan that. You can play right away. Mybookie.ag. You make your initial deposit, and they match it up to $1,000. And they got that special sign-on bonus there at mybookie.ag with code NEXTROUND. That's the key. To get that sign-on bonus, use code NEXTROUND. But anything, anytime, or as frequently, anywhere, mybookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
And our friends at Wayne's. Tomorrow we start 51 years of great service with Wayne's. But for one more day, go on and log on. $50 off recurring costs with our friends at Wayne's. Call Wayne's.com. Call Wayne's.com. Pest services, termite protection, mosquito services when we get back to the springtime, lawn care service year-round. You get it with our friends at Wayne's. Call Wayne's.com. Call Wayne's.com for all the details. And happy anniversary one more time, 50 years with our friends at Wayne's. You know, we do a lot of these playoff games, and when you get there, teams are not 100% healthy sometimes. Obviously, quarterback was a big reason Florida State was left out. But we come into this game, and Alabama's about as healthy as I remember an Alabama team ever being coming to the playoffs. I'm not saying this is the best Alabama team that's ever been to the playoffs, but this may be the healthiest Alabama team. Jace McClellan missed the SEC championship, foot injury. He's progressing, expected to be a go. If not, Roydell and Jam played well. Cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry left the Georgia game with a concussion, cleared protocol. He's expected to go. That's the injury report for Alabama. That's it.
That's pretty good.
And you look at the other side, and Zach Zenter, one of the best guards in all of football. He's going to be out on this game. And I think that's a huge factor because Michigan's offensive line has been so good all year. he breaks his fibula in the Ohio State game and unable to play in this game. That's going to be key.
And here's one stat from that one game without him in the Big Ten championship game. None of Blake Corum's 16 rushes in the Big Ten championship game went for more than 6 yards without Zinter in the game.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'll say this. I do believe Iowa's a top 10, 15 defense. I mean, they're not Alabama. I mean, they're really good in the Big Ten. But for Iowa to be able to limit him to that, it's got to be concerning if you're Michigan coming into this game.
Yeah. In the other game, Xavier Worthy has an ankle. They expect him to be a go in that game. Jonathan Brooks, though, is out. He's the big 1,100-yard rusher. He tore his ACL in mid-November. On the other side for Washington, receiver John McMillan missed a large chunk of the year. He is expected to be back. And there's a big rumor that Michael Penix Jr. is dealing with a number of aches and pains and injuries.
I am too.
Are you starting the Sugar Bowl?
Yeah, no, I'm not, but I'm battling through. I think Penix is going to be fine. Jalen McMillan has been a huge addition. I mean, that was kind of the difference in the Oregon game and the Pac-12 championship, because when you have McMillan healthy with Polk and Adunzi, I mean, those three receivers are as good as any in the game right now.
As good as anybody. Two great receiving cores.
I did
in
hear
that
from
Sugar
the
Bowl.
Michigan fan downstairs. He was like, Xavier Worthy, if we didn't care about academics, would have been playing for us and not Texas.
Wow.
You care a little too much about academics then. You can use that receiver.
Problem.
You
Yep.
could have used him.
That's right.
So, Emily Grace, I'll put you on the spot first
Okay.
here. Which position group do you think maybe Alabama has an advantage over Michigan? And if you had to pick a position group in tomorrow's game, is it quarterback, running backs, offensive line, receivers, defensive line, linebackers, secondary? Which part
I
of the
feel
Alabama
like-
team do you like in this game?
I like the receivers, and
Yeah.
I like Jalen a lot in this game. I think that he's playing his best football. Now, what I want to see from Jalen is, can he sustain it?
Right.
I think that's really important, because you can talk the talk, but at the end of the day, you still have 2 games to play. But I do like Jalen, and I do like the receivers for
Well,
Alabama.
it's a great point on the receivers. You've talked about this after the Auburn game, Brown, how Isaiah Bond has gotten so much better.
I've been saying it for a while. He's gotten better as a receiver. I
Yeah.
think early in the year, he was just kind of the guy that he's a burner. He could get behind the defense and be open for a touchdown. He's turned into a good full 3-4 down receiver. I think he's Alabama's best receiver right now. I know Jermaine Burton has been that a lot of the year, but I think he is. My answer to your question is, and Lance, I don't even know. It would either be probably Ohio State. Well, it'd be Ohio State, Penn State, or Iowa. But Michigan has not faced a secondary as good as Alabama's.
Well, that's
because I don't know if there's one in America. better
Yeah,
than
well,
Alabama.
I think this secondary, and we've seen great secondaries under Nick Saban for the last 15 plus years, but I think this is right up there with the best secondaries we've seen. And you look at Michigan, Roman Wilson's good. I can't remember the last dominant receiver we've had at Michigan. Braylon Edwards. I don't know. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Can you guys help me out on like a dominant Michigan receiver? I'm probably missing somebody.
Desmond Howard.
That's a long
That was-
time ago.
It's a
But
bit ago.
I do
Antonio
think,
Carter.
JJ McCarthy's going to have to make some plays, and some of these receivers are going to have to make plays against what is an unbelievable secondary that has so much confidence
Yep.
right now.
I mean, you're talking about 2 corners. They're both All-Americans. So you just start there. And then you say, okay, who's got a better set of safeties than what Caleb Downs has become, and Malachi Moore? I mean, that guy's been playing for 4 years.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Go back to the loss that EG's first game, the
Yeah,
Texas loss. Couple of times they beat Alabama deep over the
Yeah.
top.
Downs
They-
wasn't ready yet.
Right. They
But-
seem to have corrected that problem.
That's right.
It was almost like perfect. Like some of those throws by Quinn Ewers, and obviously Xavier Worthy. I mean, this guy's a big play guy, but I mean, it was like perfect storm for Texas in that situation.
It really was. All right, we'll get to some of the comments. Again, thank you to all the sponsors, UCA, Urology Centers of Alabama. You look them up online, Urology Center, alabama.com. Our friends at Wayne's, call waynes.com. Also, our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag, promo code next round all the time. Make the plays in the playoff games tomorrow. And our friends at Southern Rubber and Tire.
Don't forget, we'll have the ball dropping coming up here soon. So you guys stick with us.
But right now, Shakira is on the main stage. Shakira.
Jeff says, congratulations to your Rams, LT, for making the playoffs. I had not heard that. So did you know the Rams made the playoffs?
Did they
Yeah.
clinch a spot?
Have you heard
Yeah,
that,
so
No.
the way this had to happen, we went to a place called Finney's in Westlake.
Good
today.
restaurant.
It was.
Yeah, really cool. We went there last night for a little bit. We went back today because they said they were going to open at 10 o'clock, which is the time the game's kicked, 2 hours
So
behind.
weird.
And so we got there. Your Dolphins got embarrassed. Your
More of that
Bucks
in a
got
moment.
embarrassed.
Right,
Your
also.
Falcons got embarrassed.
Very, very.
And my Rams almost really got embarrassed. I mean,
Badly.
for them to almost lose that game, and if Tyrod Taylor just makes a 2-point conversion, an easy shovel pass to Saquon Barkley, we lose the game. But winning that game and then coupled with Seattle losing at home to Pittsburgh puts the Rams in. I don't care for the 7th seed, 6th seed,
Doesn't
5th
matter.
seed.
Yep, you're in.
We are in. I'm excited. They played their worst game of the season today, I believe, watching them, and they found a way to win. So I am super excited. I'm ringing in 2024 with little Ram venom.
Yeah.
And a fantasy football championship.
Did I win it?
It's not over yet, but you're trending that way, I think.
Let's see. This could be
Yours
back-to-back
I can't get a
championships for me.
scoreboard
Nice.
update. Give me a scoreboard.
Oh,
update.
you're being blocked. Lance got this thing under. If I thought Lance knew how to do that, I would suspect him. But I know he doesn't.
Here we go, Dunaway. It is. Oh, it's gotten tight.
Has
It's
it?
115 to 98. It's 56 percentile. I will win. 44 percentile. You will win.
Jordan Love must be playing
You've
well.
still got, Jordan Love is playing well. And Ty Chandler. I started Bryce Young because I thought he had like championship game
Yeah.
experience.
How'd that go for you?
Not good.
Yeah. They put
They got shut out.
up a goose egg.
Yeah, but my other quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, he didn't play. So,
Yeah.
I didn't really have much of an option.
So I'm back in it. At least I'm not getting embarrassed in the championship.
It just
game.
crept up to 57 to 43.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a tight one. Good finish coming up over on
Yeah.
ESPN
I
too.
will tell you
There.
that whoever wins, the loser gets drinks all night.
That's very nice.
That's-
It's because I'm being a jerk that he says, and you want me to drink. So I appreciate that.
Don't forget.
I'm trying to relax you a little bit.
Oh, I'm relaxed, man. Just
Hey,
a
these
little
are
work.
up all over Southern California.
Good.
Yeah, they
The
are.
Floribama comes west. Don't forget when the fantasy game is over there, we'll go out to Caesar's Palace,
Yep.
where Johnny America will try to jump the fountains there at Caesar's.
That's
and we'll have that coming up.
Excited to see that.
Yeah, it's always fun. On the other side of that, NH3425 Brown, what the hell happened with Miami today? If you've been a lifelong Dolphins fan like me, you expected this. All right, big moment, a lot on the line, could have gotten the 1 seed. That was very predictable.
Well, let me
there.
ask you this. So we were watching the game, and you guys, it was funny because Rams received, Dolphins received, and I'm like, who's going to score first?
Yep.
The Dolphins go up 7-0. Rams went down, ended up not getting anything. But what went wrong in that game? Like, I know Lamar Jackson played his ass
Oh, he
off.
played terrific. He
But it-
probably won the MVP.
It quickly got away from the
Yeah.
Dolphins.
It did. Just empty possessions. Tyreek Hill dropped the touchdown pass, which you can't complain about Tyreek Hill. And Miami had to settle for 3, and it just felt like a game where you couldn't settle for 3.
Right.
And they just never. They were different after that play.
Baltimore's
should
good.
bother you. Like Baltimore's really good.
Really good.
So they now have got the 1 seed. They control
Yeah.
them in San Francisco or your home teams throughout.
And here's your problem. Once you get into, January, obviously weather's a factor. If you guys watch Falcons Bears today, it was,
Blizzard.
Maddie refers to Chicago as Chirac, but it was snowing sideways.
It really was.
And that's what you could get in Baltimore in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
And
no
so,
doubt. Yeah.
Like everybody in the AFC wanted you guys to win. 'Cause
Yeah.
They wanted to go, hey,
There's
we'll
no
deal
doubt.
with the humidity, whatever. We don't want to go to Baltimore.
Yep. And you could get a night game in Miami,
Yeah,
I mean, it's no
that's right.
guarantee that you get that middle of the day game where you stand there and swelter on the sidelines. Our buddy Nick Johnston RV says,
Wish you were here, Nick.
Well, he says, I wish he was there. He says, we wish we were there. Road trip in the motorhome to Houston if Bama wins. I'll drive if Ryan will let me. Now,
Don't
take it under consideration.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Take
Yes.
it.
I think that's probably the best option.
It may be,
honestly.
yeah.
And mulling over some things.
Yeah, we've been
No,
looking
I
at
mean,
things, yeah.
It's got some, were you in the RV with us? No.
No, I drove.
Oh, the one to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, then we went to
Yeah.
LSU.
Pretty nice.
It
Well
was
offered, though.
freaking awesome.
NH3425 back. Any New Year's food for good luck tomorrow? I think black eyed peas and
Yep.
turnip greens are supposed to be the deal there.
I thought it was
I
New Year's
think-
Day.
I think
What
he's-
is New Year's Day
Oh,
tomorrow?
But I think he's
Oh,
asking
yes.
us, are we going to eat that tomorrow?
No, he says, does anyone eat?
Oh,
New
does
That for
anyone
good
eat that? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
grapes. I've heard you eat grapes. Colombians
Oh,
do it.
really?
Yeah.
Colombians do it.
No, but I think black eyed peas is
Black
the way
eyed
to
peas
go.
and turnip greens. Yeah,
Like,
Peas and
Peas for
greens.
pennies.
what are we doing
collards
for dinner? Does
I have
anybody
no
know?
idea.
that is an
I
excellent
haven't
question.
eaten since our
I haven't
flatbread
either.
pizza earlier.
I discovered nerd gummy clusters this trip. Excellent. Excellent.
The only time I've ever almost you can't OD on weed, but the only time that I had too much was a nerd cluster.
Really?
Yeah, they've got like a deal with nerds. I don't know.
Deal?
Well, I would think there would be a cease and desist.
Well, I think it's,
not.
fake nerds. That's got to be fake nerds.
But yeah, I bit 50 milligrams off in it.
Landmine Believer said, sad we never got to see Bryce or Sarkisian. Bryce Young would have been something else under Sarkisian. I mean, he won the Heisman with Bill O'Brien.
I still think Bryce Young, and there is what we would call a cultural problem in Carolina. We saw David Tepper, their owner, throw a beer at a fan today.
At a Jacksonville fan.
Yeah, and they get shut out. I mean, it's obviously a cesspool there. Bryce, unfortunately for him, I mean, it's almost like, hey, come back for another year and don't go to Carolina.
No, exactly.
Like, that's one of the worst places to go.
But he didn't know that they were going to be this bad, though, right?
Well, I don't know that anybody or people did. Maybe Bryce's camp didn't calculated what they had to trade away to get that pick to draft him. Yeah. It has put them behind an 8 ball for a little bit.
Yeah, for this year, DJ Moore, who's killing it with Chicago. He's on my fantasy team. It's the only reason I'm close today. I think he had 30 points. But now they're trading away draft picks, so it's not going to help this year.
You could swallow this year if you were going to draft at the top of the draft.
Yeah,
but you're not.
I told you this earlier, being a big Rams fan, I know Stafford's only got, he could retire at the end of this year, 1-2 years. Like, I'd love to have Justin Fields. I'd love to have Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young in the right offense with a lot of motion.
With some receivers.
With good receivers is going to be really good with a good offensive line. He has got nothing right now.
Would you take Bryce or Mac Jones?
Bryce.
Yeah. Bryce or Tua?
Probably Tua.
I had to go Tua there.
Yeah. But I did say Bryce was a better Alabama quarterback, I thought, than Tua.
Oh, I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that. And Tua was if you would let Bryce have Tua's weapons. Remember what Tua was throwing?
I won't seriously. I told you guys a long time ago, Lamar Jackson, when there were rumors about
MVP,
that,
thought
he would have been incredible.
Yep.
I'd love to have Justin Fields. And I know that's like a minority voice right now, but I think he's going to be really good.
Johnny Red Dot, how's the pulse of the Bama Nation?
LT says they're overconfident.
Never seen anything like it.
I think that's just the heartbeat of the Alabama Nation.
No, I'll tell you what it reminds me of, honestly. The first ever college football playoff, we were in New Orleans against Ohio State.
With a backup quarterback.
Yeah, and I remember talking to Ohio State fans, and they didn't feel good about it. I guess the difference would be Michigan fans kind of feel okay about this. Ohio State fans didn't then. But Alabama fans were like, there's no way we can lose this.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like, fan-wise. That they're looking ahead.
Okay, just on that for a second, though. We'll play it forward. I mean, we're moving to a world where it's the power conferences are just the SEC and the Big Ten, right? That's where we're moving.
Right.
That's it.
And if Alabama beats the eyes out of Michigan, though, which Alabama fans think double digits can happen, if it gets into the 17, 20, 21 range, how do we feel about that league moving forward? I mean,
Not good.
There's obviously a gap between the SEC and the Big Ten and everyone else. Would we perceive there to be a gap between the SEC and the Big Ten?
I think it get bigger.
Because you think about their alphas right now. You've got Ohio State, who can't beat Michigan. Michigan, who can't win a game in the postseason if they were to lose again tomorrow. USC, who basically shit the bed in year 2 under Lincoln Riley. We'll see what Washington does. But, I mean, it's like the new blood is the best blood in the Big Ten.
I thought of you the other day. I forget which analyst said it, but he said, I'm starting to get, I think it was Herb Street. I'm starting to get a lot of 2019 LSU vibes from this Washington team.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they are so good. And we're sleeping. I slept on one of the Pac-12 championship game. I was like, in a rematch, Dan Lanning made some bad decisions. They went out with a chip on their shoulder and played their asses off. And they're on a mission.
Yeah.
Like I told you guys the other day at the sportsbook, like I feel there's something about Washington at 5-1 to win the national championship, which feels right.
When he said that, we were at the house, and I think I may have been in the living room by myself, and I said, "Oh, LT would love to hear what Herb Street just said." 2019 LSU.
I wouldn't put
comparison.
them there because 2019 LSU was nothing but a bunch of freaking
NFL,
studs that are showing out right now in the NFL.
But look at those receivers you talked about.
No, they're really good, but it's more. They've got so many 5th and 6th year guys. And they've got Kalen DeBoer is a coach that we're not talking about enough yet. I'm not going to say he's going to be the next Nick Saban, But if I was betting on somebody to be the next Nick Saban, it might be Kalen DeBoer.
Dunaway ain't gonna see the ball drop. I don't know if y'all just saw that yawn.
I can't had it gone if I got it yawn.
Yep. Lamb,
It's 8:46 back on the Central Time
indeed.
Zone.
Lamb,
8:46.
8:46.
9:46.
Kelly yawned it.
What time did everybody fall asleep during training day?
During the- I lost track.
Tell
Oh
me,
my
G.
goodness.
Tell me,
So
G.
Lance so graciously has been wanting us to watch a movie. And so we decided last night.
This is how
after-
old I'm getting. By the way, we're in LA.
Yeah.
Like there's no kids, no dogs, no nothing, no curfew. We can do
Right.
whatever we want in
Anything
the
we
world.
wanted.
And I'm like, let's go back to the house and watch a movie.
And so the first night we were like, no, we're too tired. So we all huddle into the living room and we're, put on training day. Me and
Denzel's
Dunaway are
best
the only
performance.
ones that stayed awake the entire time.
Yeah, I looked
Everyone
over
else fell asleep.
and I really if LT had not said, Dunaway, you got to stay up and watch it, I literally was going to walk in and go straight to bed.
Well, I noticed
Right.
Brown was asleep. I thought you were asleep because I asked Manny. I was like, "Is EG asleep?" Because you look like you were like
Well,
nestled in the
I
corner.
was nestled.
Yeah.
It was freezing in the house, but I didn't want to nestle too closely into the couch. So I was like, I don't know what's been here.
Oh,
But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I thought I was going to fall asleep, so I looked at the summary of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just read ahead?
I did read ahead.
So that you could lie to us the next
Yeah.
day that you
No.
saw
Oh,
it?
it's great. I loved it.
Well, I
Loved it.
just wanted
that's
to
what
know.
I used to do with Cliff Notes. You know what Cliff Notes are?
I loved it, especially when he got shot.
No, I ended
A
up.
billion times.
But I felt like I was gonna fall asleep, so I was like, but I want to know what happened, so I'm just gonna read ahead. And then I was like, oh, this. looks
I
interesting.
remember him making it to the Mexican gang's house.
Oh,
and then
before
I
he
fell
got
asleep
waterboarded,
there.
Almost got,
Yeah.
No, not waterboarded. I thought he was gonna get waterboarded.
I did too.
I was glad that didn't happen.
I think they were just going to shoot him in the
then
bathtub.
have
No, that was it.
Clean
You
up.
heard Alonzo saying, "Hey, look, clean the tub."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, they were going to shoot him, dismember him, and then
Right.
Okay.
it's a great movie, by the way.
Yeah,
It's
it was
loosely
good.
based on a true story. They had never seen it. I was excited. It's one of my favorite things in the world to share a good movie with somebody.
Yeah. Me and
And you
Dunaway
guys
shared
liked
it,
it,
When
right?
right?
I got up and came over to you,
I
I was
slept too much.
making sure that your eyes were open too,
Yeah,
because I
we
knew
both
everyone
looked at
else
each other,
was
we were
out.
like,
Yeah.
But y'all liked it, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I
I
enjoyed
liked
it.
it.
Well, I
thought it
didn't
was
see
cool.
enough.
And
to
Alonzo
judge.
got shot more than rock stars.
That's right. Open
Yes.
casket.
Yeah, Manny.
Sucking your toes.
Lamb, my believer, different person, says, I've been confident the whole time about Bama, but nobody, all caps, is picking Michigan, and that scares me.
Oh my gosh.
He says the Ole Miss and Mizzou games make it feel better. We talked some about that last night.
We ran into Josh Pate, an hour and a half ago
Yep.
downstairs. And I was talking to him. I said, who you like? He said, Bama. And I said, I kind of like Michigan. And he said, why? And I was like, I can't really tell you.
Just got a feeling.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they, their defense is really, really good. And Vegas will not, they're so stubborn with that 1.5.
But can you really say their defense is really, really good?
I
Because
think
the
they are.
offenses they played are really, really bad.
I get that. I think they're really, really good. Like I would be surprised if Bama scores over 30 points.
Oh, I think they'll win going away at 30, though.
Yeah. If Michigan scores over 20, I'll be
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
I've
know.
said double
I don't
digits.
know.
If Alabama hits 30, I love Bama to buy double
Yeah.
digits. That point.
This game, it seems too easy.
Okay.
There's nothing free in life. We know that.
There is not.
Okay. So you will not give a free pick here, but you may want to give a score on how you think it'll play
I
out.
would-
I will tell you this. I'll go steak right now, Michigan. I mean, you got plenty to play
No,
with.
you know, I don't do that to Bama Nation.
I will go Alabama 28-17.
I say those just for Braves postseason.
Hey, for people that will
That would
actually
really hurt me.
be with us on New Year's Eve and watch this, I want to throw it out there.
Here's more.
I'm gonna give out Michigan and I'm gonna give out Washington. And you're getting free plays here. Not that matters. We were 4-0 yesterday. Yeah, I like Michigan. I think Michigan, Washington.
Give me a score.
I will say it's going to be an incredible 28-27 Michigan win.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm going to go Bama 27.
But Michigan doesn't cover. Damn, I just put myself in a box.
You really did. Yep.
Yeah.
How do you beat Bama and not cover? That's hard to do,
It's
right?
pretty
That
hard.
would suck. 27-21 Alabama for me.
But you agree it's going to be a good game.
Oh, I think it'll be.
Like, I'd be really surprised
I
if
think
it's
it'll
a
be
blowout.
instant classic.
35-27 Bama.
High scoring.
Yeah.
The other one I
35,
expect is going to be like a pinball machine game, 44-42.
Yeah, I think it will be.
35.
Chris says, I think Nyblack will play a bigger role. He's a mismatch.
Well, it's
Haven't seen a lot of
postseason.
him.
It's postseason.
I know Bama finds those tight ends
See,
postseason.
OJ Howard award.
OJ Howard, when we were in the desert, was one of the more unbelievable performances. And you just scratch your head and you're like, why in the hell is this guy not getting the ball more?
Yeah.
But I think Nyblack's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I would agree completely. Bob says J. Milrow looked really nervous early in the SEC championship. I think Michigan will slow the game down, use 2 and 3 tight ends. He did look a little nervous
He
early,
was.
but
Shaky.
he got in the groove.
I thought he played a really bad 2-3 quarters, and
Yeah.
then he did get a little more comfortable. And if he comes out and he just makes a mistake or two, I mean,
Can't turn it over.
yeah, we've talked about Michigan doesn't turn the football over. What, one turnover the last 10
Yeah.
games? Dunaway, is that right?
That seems to be right.
Yeah.
So, Nick Saban, I think at the status of today, he's 201 and 28 at Alabama.
That is
Say
pretty
that again?
remarkable.
It's crazy.
201 wins and 28 losses.
Well, that's why I feel stupid. Like if I give out Michigan tomorrow and I lose, I'm going to kick myself in the ass. Like anytime Alabama's in this situation, they win. Like anytime they're doubted, like they might lose, they just don't lose games.
and if he wins the national championship, he'll be the oldest person ever to be the coach of a national championship team.
And
Wow.
he will retire if he wins a national championship.
That's what you believe.
I truly believe that.
Bobby Bowden, currently the oldest at age 70. Nick is 72.
Now, let me ask you guys this, because I think it does become fascinating in the offseason. And by the way, Alabama fans get mad at me. Like, I want Nick Saban to hang around for 10 more years. Like, Brown, we talked about 8 years we're out.
Yep.
I want Nick Saban to go out with us.
Okay. We all retire at the same
Yeah.
time.
Joint party?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he'd drive over to Birmingham for that.
so, too.
Yeah.
Do you guys think there is anything to, like, is it already, if he knows he's going to retire if he wins, is there any way he would retire if he loses? Like, is there anything with, like,
He's got a young,
See,
good team.
Here's what
coming
I've always said. The guy has built an entire career on not making decisions based on the scoreboard. So it would just seem so counter to what he's always believed in to let whether or not he's won a
Wins or
championship
loses.
determine if he
in.
retires.
To your point, if he was retiring this year, he made that decision a long time ago.
Right. And
Or
I
he'll
just,
make it just.
I've always thought Nick
so
Saban.
win or lose, if he's going to retire?
Yeah, he's going to retire. I've always thought Nick Saban is the type of guy that what will determine his retirement is if he feels like he can't reach today's player, he can't develop today's player, he can't recruit today's player. Well, we know he can recruit them and develop them, so I'm assuming he can reach them too, right?
Yeah.
I think all those go hand in hand. I think when he gets to the point where he's like, I just don't develop them the way I used to, I can't recruit the way I used to, and I just can't connect with players anymore, I think that's when he'll retire.
I've always thought that when he can't do the things he loves to do, the dude loves to practice.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
he can't throw the passes to the DBs,
Do the stretches.
can't do the stretches, can't run around on the practice field from one drill to the other, can't run and lead the team out onto the field anymore, I don't think he wants to be that coach.
Yeah.
So as long as he's still doing what he's doing, I still think he keeps coaching.
Yeah, but when do you, like, and I don't necessarily disagree. Like, I think he's got, I mean, we don't know, but I would say 5 more years of being the Nick Saban we know right now, but you never know when that's going to stop. Like, I drop a pencil and bend over to get it now.
Oh.
That shit don't work.
Well, I keep waiting for Brown to give
Yeah.
me the rap sign because my hip's killing me
Oh,
now.
okay.
I've been sitting down
Yeah.
for so long. I need to
Well,
stand
shut it
up and
it,
stretch.
it immediately, like,
Stand up,
on a
Jimmy.
dime can change.
But think
Yeah.
about, I guess, to me,
There you go. Is that better?
Nick
Better.
Saban
All right.
is practicing. Like what he does physically on a daily basis is more than probably what we do in a week.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. So if he has that foundation of like physical health, I feel like
But you never know when it's going to shut down.
You don't.
you don't.
Like, I've got a pain that won't go away right here. It's like a tendon thing. I've got some kind of knot on the back of my arm, my hip. I think I explained it to you guys
So
last night,
sad.
like a G.I. Joe had ripped out.
Yeah.
That's there. My jaw pops nonstop. Like, every minute I get older, some shit breaks down.
Yeah. So LT is questionable.
And
for
I'm
the
a
game
lot
tomorrow.
younger than Nick Saban, believe it or not.
Court-
Although I've gotten called sir a lot this week.
Okay,
for the first
yeah.
time.
Are you taking? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that Lance got mad at our new friend Ben.
Mad?
for
Yeah, one of the
saying
staff members at Bama, and he kept calling me sir. I'm like,
What?
I'm an equal, but I'm like, that's how it goes.
Hey, so are you taking the bet with him on the fantasy game?
Fantasy football.
Yeah,
No.
on the fantasy championship, next round league. As Forrester points out in the chat room, Dunaway now heavily favored to win this thing.
No way. What has happened?
Jordan Love is playing, and none of Lance's players are.
But is he playing that good?
Well, he's got 21 points so far, 3
Wow.
touchdowns,
Well, what's the score?
23-3 at the half.
oh yeah,
No, what's the score?
One
Oh, you're still behind, but you've got a 70% probability to win right now.
what
Wow.
happened?
But Jordan Love, he's
Wow.
playing, and you're done with guys.
Tides
You got
shift.
nobody playing.
But I think we know if we go back to week one of my 2 losses in fantasy football was to Brown.
Yeah.
Didn't I? Oh, I had Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers
Yeah,
was my
you
That's right.
quarterback.
Yeah.
and all I had to have was 4 points.
Yeah.
How about you winning the championship if you do this and you started the year with Aaron Rodgers? You're
Yeah.
basically the Jets, but you went to Jordan Love and it's been enough to win the championship.
Well, remember I drafted 3 quarterbacks.
That's true. I
I
forgot about
drafted
that.
Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
Jared Goff, and Jordan Love.
You got 2 guys playing right now, and Lance has got none, so it's starting to favor you. So thanks for the update on that, Scotty.
Whatever happened to our college?
Yeah, I've always wondered that. We
Yeah.
spent 8 years drafting that college league, and I don't even know if I won a game.
I don't know either.
Lunsford's the one that's got access to that.
Well,
there was-
can you
yeah.
get us a little check-in on that?
Right.
That'd be great.
Right here.
Oh,
Oh, the college one?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've had access? Of
Of
all
all
people,
people?
Lance has had access all
It's
this
an
time.
app.
Well, I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
Jake, not one ESPN person is picking Michigan. ESPN all in on Bama, and he says they want a Bama-Texas rematch. That is the,
Viewership would be.
Yeah, I asked this Emily Grace
No,
earlier.
I think Michigan.
Michigan
Texas
brings
might
more
be better.
TV eyes than Alabama.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, I hate to say that, but they do.
But I would tell you this. This is.
What were we talking about?
I asked Emily Grace this earlier today. I showed her the area.
Oh, by the way, Lunsford won the league, and Emily Grace came in second.
Where'd I
Round
finish?
3.
I finished third.
Scott Forrester
I
4.
cannot
I bet I was dead last.
Tyler
Yeah.
5. Holy
Yeah.
shit! I thought it was lead. Rockstar 6.
Yep.
Can we say Tim Melton? Yeah,
Well,
Oh,
you just did.
Well,
7.
Welcome to January.
Reed 8. I
Almost.
was 9. Little T 10. Dunaway 11. Kelsey 12, and Walls 13.
wow, I can't believe I came in second. I couldn't tell you
Me
one
either,
person
'cause
on
you
that.
I
team.
couldn't
drafted
remember
at
who I
least
picked.
one Georgia Southern person.
I did. I had
Yeah.
to.
Had to be a
I think you
kicker.
went multiple.
It was Alex Rayner. No, it was Alex Rayner at Kentucky. He had a great year.
Yeah.
Dude, Lunsford
Shout
whipped
out.
our dick. Let me see who he had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But
Dunaway,
back to the aerial earlier. In the aerial, you could see
We have
Oh.
Michigan's defense. How about that? He's a Bama guy.
the game day set
Yeah.
and the SEC Nation
Wait, no,
SEC
No, this is
channel
Lunsford.
network
Right.
set on the field, and I didn't see another set. I was wondering because ESPN has the SEC contract,
Right,
if
if
the
they
Big
shut 'em
Ten
out.
network is setting up outside.
Out in the parking lot?
I don't know if
It's
they
possible.
are or not.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are or not.
There you
But
go.
there's only 2 sets on the field, and I know SEC Nation and game
Yeah.
days out there. So that's a pretty spot back. Right
That
there.
would be pretty funny. Oh,
Yeah.
where are you guys going? Where do you guys think you're going? Oh, we're going to set up our Big Ten network set. Not in this stadium, you're not. Not anymore, my friend.
You see those money we paid for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still want me to wrap here? What are we doing?
Whenever we're done.
Okay.
I
I was
mean-
just going to read a few more. I was
Yeah,
going to let
I
the
like
people
this.
talk.
Good
Oh,
vibes.
there's been some dinner plans.
I'm not aware
How
of
are you
any.
on the clock right now?
Oh,
You
I'm
good?
fine because we also may have a really interesting thing
What?
after this.
Yeah, we're trying to.
Oh, is that back on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
let's wrap it then.
Well, but it's not. No. The nothing was. It's not timely.
So Jake follows up, Lance. Why hasn't the line moved to Bama's favor if it's supposedly everybody's betting on Bama? And I think Furman kind of talked about this the other day.
Yeah, I think there's some what we would call sharps, heavies that are actually backing Michigan right now. So you get 100 guys that play $100 on Alabama, and you get one guy that plays 100,000 on Michigan. It balances out. So I think what you would call the smart money, whether or not that wins or not, is on Michigan, and then your majority of recreational players are on Alabama.
And Furman said that it's false that they try to go 50-50.
No, they'll sometimes like a side. We've talked about that
They
for
try
years.
to hammer you or something.
Oh, that's the biggest misnomer ever.
Yeah.
Is Vegas loves lopsided games.
Yeah, as long as they think they're on the right side, obviously. Keith, back to Saban, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he eats the same thing every day. He's just built different.
Yeah. I guess that's my point.
His vice is football.
Yeah. Good vice.
Yeah, his vice is football.
And golf.
And
Yeah, he
two
does
good
love him. Oh, he's a very
vices.
competitive guy. I'm just digging through to see if we got anything we need to get
It's okay.
to.
Man, we appreciate you guys so much. I sent out a little thank you earlier
Oh, did you?
on social media. Just everything that you guys have done for us the last couple of years. But this year,
Yep.
2023, we're going to 2024.
How would
already.
you? So I did this last year. We were sitting in my basement, and it was New Year's Eve. And there was like 10, 15 of us, and I was like, everybody go around and give a letter grade for 2022. And
So now for
I remember
2023?
somebody going D minus.
Oof. Was
I
it
was
that
like,
way?
"Damn, that sucks." Like, what would you give 2023? I honestly, and I know we did our, what was the score we did based on the USA Today poll?
yeah, happiness like
Yeah,
60.
Brown was 100.
Yep.
Yeah, but most the average American was 63.
Yeah. And I was
Um,
like a 65. Like this year, I would give, was kind of broken up. I would go like a C.
I was going to go B minus, And because I've had some bumps, but I've come out better on the other side, I think.
I feel better about 2024.
Good.
Okay.
I'm going C though.
Okay.
Like
Not terrible.
I may seriously not drink until spring break. Sounds like we're in college.
The spring break.
I am going to get a
Going to Ibiza?
syringe and I'm going to fill it full of bourbon. I'm going to stick it in your ass tonight.
Wow. I'd give
The things you say.
I'd give it an A. Had a good year.
Well,
course you
I mean, we did.
Thank you, man.
We-
These two people who not like you to be happy.
I
just
know,
want you
I
to
don't
know.
think
All y'all
everybody
do, anytime I say
It's
anything about being
bullshit.
happy,
I like
God,
everybody to be happy. I
Well,
just
all
find
you
it
do is make
impossible
fun of me.
for you to be happy nonstop.
I don't
Well, I'm
think-
sorry you find it impossible, Lance, but I am.
Well, but to be honest, Brown. it
Are
was
you
kinda-
too?
I would say.
Yeah, I've never seen E.G. bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew what your grade was going to be. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
know
your grade.
because
And I knew. I mean,
but
you
it's
got a job right out of college.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're young.
but the C's and C
You're-
minuses when you say, hey, they can't possibly be an A. Well, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you're a C,
Yeah.
but I'm an A.
I'm A.
You know, look, I took a lot of classes at Jack State where I wasn't the curve buster either. Somebody else was the A, I was the C.
Someone's got to be it.
Somebody got to be the C, man. And not
That's
everybody
not
makes
us.
A's. That's right.
Let me ask the outside crowd. Do you think he's an A really? Okay.
Yeah. Because you know why? Because that person you just asked that to isn't just so dadgum.
Oh,
Just like a,
What's the
that
word
ain't,
I'm
that
looking
ain't
for? I
an
don't know,
A.
this-
That's a
when-
B.
When you start talking like this,
Yeah.
this is when I go from a B minus to like a C.
Yeah.
You start
It's
dropping
just-
me down a letter grade.
Well, I just don't understand why.
Oh, don't
it's a
lecture me.
choice.
No, I don't
Lecture me.
understand why y'all
It's
don't want me to
not
be
a
an A. Y'all
choice.
don't
No,
want me
I
to be an
want
A.
you to be an A.
Well, all you
Yeah.
do is
No, I
like,
love you being an A. I just find it hard to believe you can be an A every year.
But
You
you
can't have an
can't.
A year every
I
year.
do it every year. Why?
You can't have an A.
What
here.
is not to like? What is not to like?
Yeah, no,
We're
no.
living life. We're
That's right.
healthy. We got a family.
I got my health. I got my family. I got a job I love doing.
I laughed
I'm-
today. I cried today. What more?
I didn't laugh or
Yeah.
cry. I mean, I laughed a lot. Didn't cry any. I get, I mean, what more do I want? What more do I want? Why would my life not be an A? What do you think I don't have that I need?
No, I think the problem sometimes you seem to be disappointed when he's not an A or I'm not an A, right?
I am, because I would love for you guys to be an A.
I know, and somehow it comes off. I don't know how it comes off.
No, I try to be an A all
Yeah.
the time. I really do.
Yeah, I would.
I
I
think
hope you
there's
are.
a lot of people out there that try to steal my joy.
You
Unfortunately.
and all I would say
I'm just
is,
being honest.
Where
I
my-
agree with that.
Where
But
my joy stealers
my
at?
joy- where them
Where's all
joy
my
stealers?
joy
Like,
stealers?
I
would
want
say-
everybody to like peace, harmony is like my most important
Yeah.
thing. I tell people this all the time the last couple of years. That's what I want in life right now. And the more passive I get, the more people take advantage of me. And I want to tell people to go fuck
I
themselves.
just can't. You got to. I mean, I'm not telling you how to live life. I'm just telling you how I live my life. I'm not going to let that person dictate my life.
Well, unfortunately, there's people that are important to me that do shit like that.
Yeah, I just can't. And I guess I don't deal with that. Thank God. But
Yeah, you're lucky.
I know I'm very fortunate in that. I'll disagree with you, but I just don't let the negative people in my life dictate my life. You just can't. Now, I'm not saying I shut them out of my life, but I'm not going to let them dictate how I feel.
No, that's good.
But I mean, I'm not saying that's the way to live life. I'm saying that's the way I choose
See?
to live life.
This year,
Right?
last year was a B. Next year is going to be an A.
Where are the semifinal games next year?
Semifinal games next year are going to be the Peach and the either Cotton or Fiesta.
National
Okay.
championship is definitely Vegas, right?
Yes, Vegas. So my hope for 1 year from tonight, we'll be doing this show in Atlanta or Phoenix with Auburn or Alabama or whoever, Jacksonville State,
Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern, yeah. And we'll have this same conversation, and both of you say, you know what? I remember a year ago having this conversation and didn't think I could have an A, but I'm going to tell you,
No, I think I can have an A.
2024 is going to be an A.
Yeah. And like my C wasn't bad.
That's
it was
great.
just
What would make it? What in your mind is an A year?
okay. First of all, like we take for granted our health.
Yeah.
No doubt.
For sure.
So I've just been a little banged up, like feeling like not like sick, but I just don't feel great. So health is ultra important.
Prioritize your health.
Yes. And then I need to mend some relationships.
Good.
That's a great goal.
That is an amazing goal.
Yeah.
And the fact that
But that's it.
Recognize.
No, but the fact that you recognize it and you're willing to say, I need to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extreme ownership.
Now, honestly,
Extreme ownership. I saw what you did there, your book. Yeah.
I don't-
Honestly, what?
I don't think I'm accountable for it, but I'm going to do everything I can to.
Well,
Yeah.
help
I
mend
tell you
those
what,
relationships.
I did, I had a broken relationship in my life this year. If you need to stand up, stand up. It's not
No,
gonna
I'm
bother me.
fine.
I had a broken
We're
relationship.
boring him.
I know. What?
This
I mean,
no, it's fine.
positivity
It's fine.
bullshit.
I had a broken
It's fine.
relationship in my life this year, and I don't believe I was at fault.
I didn't know you had one.
Yeah, I had one. You know who it is, and I didn't think I was at fault in this situation.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this other person. I personally thought they were at fault.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest with you, I harbored a little bit of ill will because of that. And it was through a sermon. Your boy George Wright, my pastor, preached a sermon, and Shades Mountain Baptist Church. Shout out George Wright, and basically preached on, look, man, it's the verse. I think it's in one of Paul's epistles. No, the one that says, "As best you can, live peaceably with everyone around you." And I thought, even if it's not my fault, I'm not living peacefully with that person. So I'm going to take the step to do it. And I'm into that relationship, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, and that's great. I will tell you this, though. This is getting way too deep.
It's New Year's Eve, though.
Yeah.
It's New Year's Eve.
No, but I, talking to George Wright, great guy.
Yep.
I've tried, and people are not going to believe this, I've tried to get a relationship with God. I've tried, like, I've been discussing this with him. And the more I do this, the more I get shit on. And it's like, and I was talking to my girlfriend's mom, Cam, and she's like, this is like the devil at work. And we're getting way deep here, and I apologize.
No, don't apologize.
But seriously,
we could say this conversation for when Alabama's not good in the future and we're not at the playoff
it's like,
game.
I am trying my best to live the best life, like, and do right by everybody and take care of everybody. And the more I'm on this path, it's like people that are in my circle are coming after me. It's weird. I don't get it.
Now do Jesus. How was his? He was doing some pretty good work, and they came after him.
No,
Oh, it was even worse. Yeah. And it was people in his
And
circle
there's
too.
kind of, and I've been told, like, it's you're trying to get to this point, and there's an other element that's trying to pull you away.
How convenient and how much power is there? The thought of your soul is so valuable, and what you can do for the kingdom of God. That's exactly what Satan wants to keep you from.
Yeah, there are some people out here that are going to think we're crazy talking about this religion, but I kind of like, it's really weird that I've come so close to getting to a point that I probably need to be to. And what I'm getting pushed back on right now makes no sense. Like, it's people in my life that I never, ever thought would push back. But anyway, Happy New Year.
Yep.
C this year. Fucking A next year.
Yes, there you go.
Excited about it. Are you the homecoming queen, by the way?
I am the homecoming queen, by the way. 2022.
She ain't taking that bait.
We got a great story.
Yeah,
last
take
We
night.
that
do
bait.
have a great. Was that last night?
It was last night.
That
Yeah,
is
this
a
is
story.
like, these trips go so fast. We're here for like a long time. They go so quick.
Yeah.
We
In a
did
sense, I
Peaks
feel like
and
Do
Pits.
they?
We
Do they go
Peaks and
quick?
Pits
I
later.
thought we just did that.
That was Peaks and Pits? No, of the day.
Oh, okay.
We
That
could
was
do
for
the-
2023.
Oh, can we do
apparently.
Peaks and Pits today?
Yeah.
On the air?
Oh,
Sure.
on the air? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. So
Okay.
who came up with the Peaks and Pits? You?
Me.
That was EG every night so far on the trip.
I can do yours right now. Peaks,
Rams made the playoffs. That's right.
The Pits is going to be.
You're about to lose the fence.
Chasing this one interview that we've been chasing
Yeah.
all day.
No, we're going to get that interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you guys doubt it?
What's your pick?
No. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
another location. But
My pit today.
Let's say your peak first.
No, my peak was the Rams.
hey, and congratulations.
I appreciate
Congratulations. You're a huge
That,
Rams
I
fan.
mean, there was no expectation. I think their win total was like 4.5 or 5. Sean McVay has done an incredible job. A lot of the rookies, Kobe Turner, Puka Nacua,
Shout out,
came up
guys.
big. So look, that was my peak. My pit probably is our Airbnb. And no, so like
It had a lot of potential.
I went day one and went shopping. I got us a bunch of wine. I got us some Rams 1800 freaking tequila. I got us some good bourbon. Widow
so when
Jane,
you-
if you've never had it before, it's unbelievable.
So when you say shopping, you bought a lot of
I bought a lot.
alcohol.
Yes. You know what he did?
You know what you did? Buy
Diet
chips,
Coke.
breakfast.
That's right.
Y'all bought all that
We
bullshit.
did.
But there's like three
Nobody
islands.
called it today. I'm going to the store. Do we need anything?
There's like 3 islands in our kitchen, and I put all my liquor on one island, and then I moved it. But that island had nothing on it when I moved it. And today, when we were about to leave, there's a blunt, a half-smoked blunt
That's right.
on the counter.
It's true.
And so, like, went around. I know you didn't smoke it. I know you didn't smoke it. You were possibility. It was me or you.
With me.
I didn't. So somebody came in our Airbnb
I've-
and smoked it.
Yeah.
I've reached out to the owners, and they're apologetic. and they asked for a photo of it. So
Oh.
we're gonna have to, when we get back, send them a photo.
And my water pressure would be like
I'll
a
tell them that too.
hummingbird
Yep.
pissing on your back.
Yep.
I've never seen a hummingbird piss, but I don't think it would be a lot of pressure,
I
right?
can't, me and Maddie can't wash our hair because of it.
I'll tell you this: when I was shopping for a house before the house that I bought now, the first thing I always check is the water pressure.
Yep,
I
that's
agree.
bad
It's
here.
so
Very
important. And it is the worst water pressure I've ever experienced. And yours is pretty good, bro.
Mine is in my shower. It's weird. I don't know why my shower's the one going.
For me, it's
Mine
the
is
window.
Mine is good too.
You're in the kids' room.
I just have to do an obstacle course to get there.
Hey, did you find that chair that I put in your room?
I did. You were trying to scare me. You were
I
trying
found
to
the
scare me.
chair. It's just fucking small. It's like, and it's like well built. And like, who would build a chair that small for
Yeah.
anybody?
Yeah,
So I thought,
I knew you were trying to scare me.
yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Maddie told me don't sit in it. You're gonna get cursed. And I was like, I'm just gonna put it in Dunaway's room.
yeah. So he did. Thanks for letting him do that. But yeah, so I
You have
came
a
back
trindle that won't
and I was like,
go
so I
underneath
ended
the
up,
bed.
I put a towel in it. Yes, I have two beds, very small. I am in the kids' room on floor access where I think I could be the first one murdered. And
I don't know. No, he would
Yeah,
not.
but you know
I
what?
didn't realize you worried about
Listen,
getting murdered this much.
But you know what? If he were upstairs, you know what he'd say? God, they're going to be shooting guns in the
No,
air to
he
celebrate
was.
New Year's
We were in
Eve.
Nashville. You were worried about getting murdered.
I know you can't.
Where?
In Nashville.
And you,
SEC.
were, and you were on the top floor there too.
see what was going on across the street.
I did, but like you worry about that a lot, don't you?
Well, I don't want to die.
I've been Seagull this whole trip. Seagull is clear. Seagull is clear.
Yeah. I watch a lot of things on Netflix where
I watch the dark stuff, and I don't worry about that shit.
well, I've been watching a lot of CIA, FBI stuff, right? And so we've been riding through LA, and
Yeah.
I've been close to EG, and I'm like opening doors for her, going around the corners. Seagul's
clear.
entered. Seagul's okay.
I mean, I appreciate the.
All right, so that was
For
so that was
me,
Lance's pit.
I will
No,
say,
it's so funny though, and I'll let you get to yours. But we were going to have a couple come over and cook dinner for us tonight, and you two were going to stay downtown.
yeah.
And you were like, because I'm going to take care of her in the Uber, and I'm like,
Well, no, I've even told her that.
Like-
And I joked with Maddie's dad today. I was like, truthfully, of our group, I think I trust your daughter more to get off a shot on
Oh.
somebody that was trying to take
Oh,
it
yeah,
than
100%.
anybody in
yeah,
the
she
group.
would whip your ass 100%.
There's no doubt. There's no
Yeah.
doubt. But I even have a hat in my bag just to try to look a little bit tougher for the
Right.
Uber ride home.
Just in case. It's gonna happen. No, and then today or this evening when we were walking back, Lance was like, "Oh no, you guys will be fine. They'll shoot me."
No, I told you I would take the bullet for
Right,
you
but we
guys.
said
And then
we would be taken to
yeah,
Syria.
Yeah. EG's like,
Syria.
yeah, we're going to be sex slaves in Syria. And I was
And
like,
you're gonna
not
go
if you
to your
fucking
misery.
run. Like,
Yeah.
if let me take all this and then you guys just take
Well,
off.
yeah, I mean, I think you're just an accessory in it. You know what I mean? Just get rid of
I
him,
know,
take
I know.
us. All I have to say, the window in my shower that is not tinted or like frosted glass, that's a little
Is this your
concerning for me.
pit?
I don't know if it's my
I
pit.
hope it's not your highlight.
I just wanted to add to the discussion, and the hair is everywhere in my space.
So Hot Tub Time Machine, underrated comedy. It like starts out before Chevy Chase gets there. It's like just a shit cesspool. That's our hot tub.
Yeah.
And like Chevy Chase hadn't shown up. Like I brought a bathing suit because I was gonna get the hot tub.
That was bold.
I did bring a
Um,
bathing suit.
Okay, my peaks and pits. My peak, I feel like it was just an all-day peak, not really anything specific, just a good day. Oh, and look, there's the eye roll. There's the eye roll.
Yeah.
That is my
You
pit.
can't be
right
happy.
there. Boom.
You can't be happy around
There's
that
the eye
guy.
roll.
My
Misery
peak
loves
was
company.
the day.
My peak
I mean,
was the day. Oh, your pit was the day?
No,
No.
we're doing,
Yes, it was.
You started this a specific moment of the
Okay,
day.
okay, fine.
A specific, you started the
My
rules.
peak, well, you can change the rules.
Yeah,
My
but
peak is,
did you like your lunch?
yeah,
Did
it's
you like your
fabulous.
brunch?
I just like everything.
Did you like talking to the Milrose?
Yeah, that was my peak.
Thank you.
Talking to the
What about
Milrose.
the dude we met with an orange?
Oh, that was
Uber?
my peak. Hello, Dave. That was my peak.
Yeah.
No.
I was
Oh, what's
told
your
that.
pit?
My pit is Hello, Dave.
What you see on the street when we were driving down
Oh,
the road.
that is my pit.
I was
Oh,
told
yeah.
I make too many friends when we're out in the wild. I'm nice. I like to talk to people.
Okay.
Tell people your pit.
We were driving through the streets of Los Angeles downtown, and in the corner, I happened to turn my head, and there was a man that was exposing himself.
Whipping it out.
Yeah.
Welcome to LA.
Welcome to LA. That
Yep.
was my pit.
Any block downtown, you can see that
Yeah.
one.
So
My pit was the Dolphins.
My favorite part is she called it a pee-pee.
Yes, she did. She did. He just pulled out his
He just pulled out
pee-pee.
his pee-pee.
Like, is he 3?
Yeah,
No.
you're Dolphins.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, that was my free play today.
It was bad, I know.
2 and 3 today.
It was bad.
So what was your peak?
The food we had. Yeah, food we had at lunch. I had a good burger, Wagyu burger. That burger was good.
That place, that food was
Spot on. We've had good meals.
Yeah.
Good meals out here. Our tour guide's been really
Yeah,
good.
Maddie knows what she's doing.
My peak was the chicken and waffle. We started off with a little praline sauce around it. That was a really good thing.
First time I've ever kicked breakfast off of the martini.
Yeah, the old espresso martini.
My pit was there's a place at the corner of our neighborhood that we're in called the Donut Inn,
This is funny.
right? So you would think, since I was the first one up,
Oh, sorry, guys.
Well, today is Sunday, right?
yeah, but it is
Weekend.
Sunday, but it's Donut Inn.
Yeah, that seems like a big hot day for donuts.
So you'd think to yourself, I'm up, I'm on a nice walk, stretch out the old hammy, walk
The
down
old
there.
hammy.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to get a donut. I was
Right.
just going down for a cup of lunch.
Yeah,
I
cup
get
of
down-
Joe.
I get
When
down
in
there.
Rome.
The Donut Inn is closed.
Right?
It's open 5 a.m. to 7 a.m.
That is,
Like they
it
knew
is
you were
weird.
coming.
No, it's a weird time. Like, what time are we going to open?
Yeah.
I don't know, 5 a.m. to 7
And I
a.m.
was there like at 8.
Yeah.
And how are you closed? How do you come in and work for 2 hours on a Sunday?
It doesn't make sense.
It
I agree.
doesn't. Donut Inn, shout out.
All right. Give us a thumbs up, please.
Which should we just do 2 more hours?
I don't think so.
I'll go get cocktails.
Dunaway has been punched out for the last 20 minutes. He ain't
No,
gonna
no,
do 2 more
no. I'm
hours.
fine. I'll do whatever y'all want to do.
No.
I do not want a cocktail.
Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. We appreciate you doing that. Make
It's
sure
my
you
pit.
subscribe.
You're such a poon.
Follow us on social media at Next Round Live.
What
we
do I
appreciate
have
you
to
doing
drink?
that. Thank you to our sponsors, Urology Centers of Alabama, Wayne's, Southern Rubber and Tire, and MyBookie.ag code Next Round. In all sincerity, I know we joke around a lot. We don't celebrate 2023 here without you guys. So thank you very much for making
Do
it
we have
happen.
any good stuff?
Well, we got a lot.
No, like
I'm
negative
intrigued.
stuff, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Some guy apparently is watching the first show his first show ever of us, and wants to know what this is all about. I don't understand why you would come into a show that you've never seen and be like, "Who are these guys? What are they talking about?"
I met a lot of people yesterday, and I gave a lot of people cards,
Oh.
and I told a lot of people to watch us. So this could be.
Well,
one
it could be
of those guys.
B Bean.
Sure.
Peaks and pits. He doesn't understand why we'd be doing that. He didn't understand why
just
we're talking about
having
food.
fun.
We're talking about food. We talk about food on this show.
Having fun.
It's no big deal. I'm just saying maybe like
Yeah.
watch a
Right.
show or two before
Is
you
he going
start.
to understand if somebody kicks him in the teeth tonight?
I don't know.
No.